Good morning. We are doing Uddhava Gita. We're continuing Uddhava Gita, chapter 4, verse 26 onwards. We had done till verse 25. I think 25 had taken an entire satsang. So, 26 onwards, it's exactly the same. We are just elaborating on different kinds of issues connected to human beings. We are doing Uddhava Gita, chapter 4, verse 26, the last message of Sri Krishna. That very body, for the sake of whose welfare a man adds unto himself and maintains a wife, children, sense object, domestic animals, servants, home and relatives, and painfully amasses wealth, withers at the end of the term like a tree, creating the seed of a fresh body for the man. Here Sri Krishna is talking to Uddhava and he is telling him that human beings have this very strange ability where they are interested, their desires are going to lead them further and further and further. That means there is no end of the line anywhere. And what do they actually desire? So he's talking about wife, children, sense objects, domestic animals, servants, home, relative, wealth, so on and so forth. Now let us take the first one. What does he do? For the sake of those whose welfare a man adds unto himself and maintains a spouse. Think, there is a young person at the age of say 20, 15, 16 to 20. This person is so much interested in studies, going out, doing something with life, and becoming somebody. Now there are so many motivational videos out there which tells you you can do this, you can make billions, you can make trillions, you can become big, and so on and so forth. And people like Bill Gates and the Amazon person or Jack Ma or whoever, they are motivating us every now and then. And now think about the person who is just around that 16 to 20 years of age. He or she is thinking about becoming something in life. By the time they come to 22, 24, 25, 26 and all this age, the same person says, I need to fall in love. I need to have a wife. I need to have a girlfriend. I need to have a husband. I need to have a man in my life. I mean, just imagine this person has completely shifted the focus from one to the other. And how beautiful is this shift? Think. This is nothing but what we call as a desire. I want to marry a person. It is called a desire. I don't want to go to the last line first, okay? So I am just going to give this build up so that you understand how this man thinks. So he first thinks, a man or a woman, a man thinks, I will get married, I will have children, and so on and so forth. A woman thinks, you know what? I want to fall in love. I want to have a man in my life. The same 16, 20-year-old now desires to fall in love and have a man in life, completely forgetting what this person is supposed to do. Now, here Krishna is not saying that you should not fall in love. He is neither saying that you have to completely surrender to this kind of a thing. Then children. Once a person is married, the next thing in their mind is, Oh, I am getting old. I need to have children. Hmm? And the children, they follow one after the other. And this is something which is a part and parcel of marriage. Or nowadays, even marriage is not important. People want to have children for the sake of having children. Hmm? Or sometimes, the proliferation of so many fertility clinics in India. I went to the smallest of the towns and there are fertility clinics over there. I want to have a child, I want to have a child, I want to have a child. I mean, what are they talking about? Already the population of India is overflowing. There is no space. The China also. China changed the one child policy to two child policy. And people want to have children as if, one after the other. So the next thing that a person thinks of by the time they get married, they're thinking of, I want to start a family. What are you talking about? So everything that you thought of, now think, the person thought of that I will become somebody in life by the time the person was 16, 17, 18. By the time the person is 25 or so or 30, whatever, they are already married and they are having children. And then this entire idea that I want to do something in this world goes out of the window. My husband, he stays in this place, Jumri Talaiya. That is why I also have to shift to Jumri Talaiya. What? My wife has got a good job in Bangalore. So I want to shift with my entire family to Bangalore. It's a rat race. So the next thing that they get into is called a rat race. Sense objects. The third word over here used by Dattatreya, Sri Krishna, while explaining the entire story to Uddhava. But Dattatreya is explaining to Yadu. I hope you remember that. Now, sense objects. Oh, it is Diwali time. We need to have sweets at home. We need to have, stars and all those decoration material, this, that. Oh, it is Diwali time. Lakshmi Pujan. Can we go buy this? Can we go buy that? I want to have gold. Dhanteras. Okay. So the Dhanteras, the wife goes and says to the husband, today is Dhanteras. We need to get some kind of a gold. Gold standard went out of the window. And still man is searching for gold. So this is another thing which happens. The sense objects are dragging the person. And every time in 1 year now, I think Maruti Suzuki makes about 17, 18 models and they want, oh, can I replace it with this new one? Can I replace it with, oh, there's a new design come out over there. Kia Motors is launched and Harrier from MG. What are they talking about? So this same couple who has children are now thinking about cars. And then the next thing is domestic animals. After they are satisfied, we have kids. I think we should have a dog. We should have a dog. You're already overburdened with a wife, children, house. Now you want an animal also. Wow. And those who are in the native places, I mean in the villages, they are saying, oh, we need to have some cows. Why? Because we got to feed. We need to have some sheep and goats and this and that. That's a cattle. The person says, I want to make a business. I want to do something. Now, they are not satisfied with one job. They want multiple jobs. And when I come home, I do this. Is it? So you are doing A plus B plus C. Why? It's a growing family. See, again a build-up, right? So first one is to get educated, forget everything that you have got educated for get married. After you get married, then forget what you thought about, then have children, then have houses, then have cars, then have all the stuff that you require in the world. Oh, I saw a nice, dress in the window. I need to own it. Wow. And after that, you say, our crockery. We need, people will come home. We need to buy new crockery, new cutlery. People will come home, so you want to buy new crockery, new cutlery, new kind of stuff. Then you want to travel in comfort, so you want to have a car. All these things are there. Then, like I said, next comes domestic animals. Now we come to the next part. I am a growing person. I have grown in my company. Every time, every day, I have to drive down for 2 hours to reach my office. I can spend my time better by doing some work, computers, or read something while my driver can take me to the office. So you have introduced a next level. Now the next level is called servants. Okay? Upwardly mobile people, they can only think of expending more and more and more. Did you hear about the travel? No? Okay, let me tell you. Oh, we have done a Fiji. Next time we should go to Japan, and then we should go to America. Why? I want to look at that tall buildings over there. You can't see them in YouTube, you want to see them in America. Tall buildings. What are you talking about? Human beings just want to spend their life doing nothing but waste. Now just imagine, while they are looking at all the castles in Germany and the tall buildings in America, the bridges in London and the Queen of England, and maybe going to Africa and looking at all the poor people or the rich people, I don't know, and then going to Europe and saying, oh, I want to eat the cheese. And then going to South America, very nice place this is. Jesus is standing like this, somewhere on top of the mountain. I want to see that. What you can't, just think, you want to see Jesus standing over there, and for which you're going to spend thousands of dollars going there? Just imagine the futility of all this life. That was travel. Home. Next one. Home. What is home? When we were very poor people, poor people means when you just got married, you were staying in a rented apartment, and now because your wife or your husband literally forced you, you bought a 2 BHK. 2 BHK is bedroom, hall, kitchen. Okay, bedroom, hall, kitchen. So you bought a 2 BHK. Now growing family, 3 BHK. We should shift to a 3 BHK. After 3 BHK, what happens? Your mother is going to come and stay over here. Let us have 4 BHK. Does this ever end? When the guests are going to come, we need a guest room for them. So you have a guest room. So for guest room, you are going to buy another house. Does this ever end? No. See, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Now, relatives. You see, when you are getting married, this particular uncle of yours had given about 20,000 rupees worth of gifts. We need to return it back. What? Yeah, his daughter is getting married now. No, it's high time that you started returning all those gifts. Okay, it's not only returning gifts, but so many relatives plonk themselves into your house, into your life. Oh, you are staying in Bangalore. Can I come down there for a few days? Wow. So just because you are staying in Bangalore, so can I come down and stay with you for a few days? And then the parents turn up. The relatives turn up. Who's? My husband's mother-in-law. My husband's mother, my mother-in-law, she's coming. And what does she like? She likes X, Y, Z. So we got to give her that. So you are pandering. Now see how you were pandering first to your own body. You wanted to have sex. So you got married. Then you were pandering to your wife or your husband. And pandering to them, you got into children. From children, you got into sense objects. Then domestic animals, servants, home, relatives have now come in. So how big a family you have got yourself into? By the way, this is called entanglement. You never heard of these idiots in your life ever. The other person, you understand, the spouse, and her or his relatives, you had never heard of these idiots in your life, and now you have to pander to everybody, including some animals, pet animals, relatives, and so on and so forth. Diwali time, we should give gifts to everybody. Gifts to everybody. By the way, knock knock. What happened to that program you were having of doing something in your life? I will do it next year. 1 year, it's okay. No, I can spend one more year. Mark Zuckerberg started becoming a millionaire and a billionaire by the time he was 18 and 20. Think about it. I want you to think. Bill Gates started minting money by the time he was 16, 18, 20. Think. They were already on the path of success. Those who get into family, wife, children, husband, this, that, do you really believe they can ever go anywhere in life? You just look at Jeff Bezos also. He's gone in for a divorce. Okay, he's pulling his hair out. I mean, can you imagine that? You think he can make billions when he has a family? I don't think so. Nobody can make even millions if you have a family. Alright? And about reaching your career, everything gets forgotten. There are some people who are going to turn back and tell me, don't worry, don't say that. In my life, even after I get married, I'm still going to do that thing. What are you going to do? I'm going to do my MBA. What? MBA? Having children MBA? Having relatives MBA? Having dogs and cats and all those things. That is the MBA you will finally end up doing. You won't even go anywhere in life. I can write and give. Because Krishna says so. I don't say. I'm just reading what he is saying. Alright? So I'm coming to the next part where he says, and painfully amasses wealth. Painfully amasses wealth. Somebody sent me a invitation saying that, not invitation, a notice saying, Guruji, I am getting married. And I was looking and I say, wow, very nice. Already you are in half, kabar. Kabar means tomb. And now you are getting married and sending pictures of all the girls that he is getting married to. Wow. What happened to your career? You have not even gone one rung in your life, one rung up. And you are getting into a marriage. See, this person might be earning 50,000 or a lakh of rupees. Just think. So he gets married. Now, when he was earning 50,000, his maybe saving was 5,000. When he gets married, what is his saving going to be? Minus 50,000. You got the point? Why minus 50,000? Because he has to take his wife to this place, that place, and in the first year of marriage, you have to go and visit 1,000 relatives. And give gold to this one, and saris to that one, and that to that one, and that to. And by the way, they are fattening you up nicely. They will call you for lunch and dinner and all that, and they'll fatten you, especially the mother-in-laws that are there. They will fatten you so that you can have children. So after 1 year's time, oh, you didn't have any child? So that minus 50,000, you understand what minus 50,000 means? Let us say the person was earning 50,000, he was saving 5,000. In 1 year's time, he may be earning a lakh of rupees, but he is minus 50,000 means his expense is 1 lakh 50. And then he goes and makes the next mistake in his life, which is called having children. And the person may be earning 1 lakh 50,000. His expenses are going to be 2 lakh 50,000. You may ask me, how is it 2 lakh 50,000? I have my EMIs to pay. Oh, I bought a nice house, The child has to go into a new house. How? Is that so? Yeah, then I had to buy a car. Then I had to buy this, then I had to buy that, and it went on. And relatives, of course, they are there in the peripheral region of yours. You are actually looking at them. In the first or second year, you are trying to pander to every relative of yours, including your mother-in-laws. By the time you come to the third year, you are fed up with all these people. Because you see, your kid is already there. And because your kid is there, he's taking up so much expenses. You know that one small body which may be just about few kgs in weight. Okay. Suppose the kg in weight is 10 kilos. Okay. Okay. He's eating 20 kgs a day. And you don't know where the hell that money is going to come from. That is what he says. Painfully amasses wealth. And this is the truth of life. There isn't a single person who can deny me this. And by the way, Krishna is always right, isn't it? So any person who can say, I am an exception to the rule is the biggest foolish person on earth. Okay? The fool of all times. Painfully amasses wealth, withers at the end of the term like a tree. Withers at the end of a term like a tree. So by the time they come to the age of 35, 40, they are half dead. Fully dead will be another 5 more years later, don't worry. Because by the time they are 35 and 40, they have blood pressure, diabetes, and you can't even think of the diseases they can amass for themselves. Not wealth, amassing diseases goes on. And then what else? Debts. Tremendous amount of debts. When a person says that I am debt free, some idiot in my life will tell me I am debt free. They don't understand that they owe it. There is no getting out of any debt. You owe it. Now you may be a 35 or a 40-year-old who might not have got married. Think about it. You are not married, but actually you are married to your parents and your relatives. Your parents will say, you haven't given me this, you haven't given me that, as if you owe it to them. So I met a taxi driver who owes it to his wife and his child. Then he talks about his parents. And he owes it to them. Think. So the debts have not gone out of the life. So I owe it to my parents, so I got to pay them every month. And then every occasion that arises, I got to give them this and I got to give them that. And this is a debt you owe to them. Why? You have gathered all these relatives, no? When you have gathered all these relatives, relationships and all these kind of things in this world, you got to nurture them. If you have a dog, you think you can just leave the dog and walk away and say, yeah, I am going to some country, you please take care of my dog. First, why have you brought the dog? When you cannot take care of the dog, you should not have it. If you cannot take care of your children, don't have them. If you cannot take care of your spouse, why are you getting married? But this doesn't work. No brains. Brainless people. So they want to have dogs and this and that and so many things. And they will want to have jewelry, cars, new phones. You go, you see, you might have bought the phone for 1 lakh rupees, and you go and give it to a company called Samsung. You bought 1 lakh rupee phone from Samsung, and you go and give it to 2 years later, and the Samsung fellow will look at it. I will give you 6,000 for it. 6,000 for a stupid phone which I paid 1 lakh rupees? What are you talking about? And then you can see your money go down the drain. So, painfully amasses wealth, withers at the end of the term. So, when a person thinks about all these things, when they have time to reflect in their life, the first thing they say is, God, why did you give me this? You think God was interested in you getting married? No. God never said that you got to get married. You got married. And now you want to blame God. Did God say you go and have sex? No. Then you had children? No. You went and had children. Why? It's your desire. God is not saying, I desire that you should have children. There is no such desire in any God, by the way. He doesn't care whether you have children or you don't have children. You want to have children. You want to own houses. You want to get upset in your life. You want to have those diseases. Why? Because you have to pay the EMIs, you have to pay this one, you have to pay your family, you have to pay for this, you have to do this, you have to do so many things you got to do, and because of which you are falling sick. Why are you blaming God now? Think. Why are you blaming God? God is not responsible for all these kind of things. Unnecessarily, when you were getting into matrimony, do you think you asked permission of God? God, can I do this? God said it's your choice. You want to do this, it's your choice, okay? I am not interfering in that. So it is always going to be, I don't care. So, creating a seed of a fresh body for the man. Now, this doesn't mean having children. By the way, this is not that. Creating a seed of a fresh body for the man. Everything that this person has done creates into karmic debts. Getting married means karmic debt. Having children means karmic debt. Taking care of the dog means, or the cat or whatever in life, is karmic debt. Taking care of your parents supposedly is also karmic debt. See, think about it like this. If you are paying your parents some 25,000 rupees back every month, right? Do you think they should not be paying you back in some life of yours? They are going to pay you where you are going to be poor and old like that. With all the diabetes and everything that they have, you are going to have, and they are going to pay you when they will be young. And they will pay you 25,000 rupees so that they can take care of you in some future life of yours. So, did you understand? You are already laying the seed for a future life. And this is never understood by human beings. So this verse is actually a very, very dicey verse, isn't it? I mean, you may say, what is Guruji talking about? Guruji is only explaining what Krishna is talking. Okay, Krishna is saying, who has asked you to do all these things? And what happened to the grand plan that you had, by the way, for me in your life? It went out of the window. I've had many people who actually come to me and say, Guruji, I don't find time for prayers, but I attend your satsangs. Oh, I see them in YouTube. I do this and I do that. I am getting redeemed. Redeemed for what? Think, I want to redeem for what? It is like that thing which got, dropped on the moon. Indian spacecraft. It went and plonked itself somewhere on the moon. I don't know where it is. Nobody knows where it is. You are exactly like that. Lost. Redeem means what? Plonking yourself on the moon doesn't mean redemption. Okay? It means that you have just lost yourself somewhere. Guruji can't do anything for you. Please understand this. Till you do not make efforts and getting out of that nonsensical life of yours, no Guruji on this planet Earth or no God on this planet in this entire universe can ever redeem you. By attending half an hour of satsang doesn't redeem anybody. And thinking just you can pander to me by doing all kinds of things doesn't make a person get out of this creating a seed of a fresh body for a man. No way. You are going to be attached to the parents, your wife, your husband, your children, all those donkeys that you have gathered in your life. That means relatives and all those, you understand what I'm saying, no? All these people that you think that you owe them so much and they owe to you, you have gathered them around and you better pay for it. So the next life of yours and the next and the next and the next, you have already signed on the dotted line. You know what that is called? EMI. EMI of your life. So next life, I propose to pay the entire life to this person. I propose to pay this life to this person. Okay, all these people you owe them. And you have got yourself in a big jam. Got it? And this is what this verse is talking about. Why would you want to get into this? So we move to the next verse now. Uddhava Gita chapter 4 verse 27. The last message of Sri Krishna, that is, the tongue attracts the man to one direction and thirst to another. A sex impulse draws somewhere and skin, stomach and ears to the other quarters. The nose attracts in one direction, the restive eyes elsewhere. While the tendency for work draws to something else, all these undermine the man like so many wives of a householder. Do you really believe that these verses are fake or true? I mean, what do you think? Please understand, this is Uddhava Gita spoken by Sri Krishna, and Sri Krishna is the epitome of truth. You can never override anything that he has written over here or said over here. Please remember this. You cannot override, you cannot promise me anything that in the next this I will do this and the next day I will do this or the next life of mine. No, no way. You cannot achieve the impossible. What is this impossible? Getting out of these things. The tongue attracts the man in one direction. The tongue attracts the man in one direction means what? It means that you want to taste all the beautiful stuff in the world. The tongue is the first organ mentioned over here. Remember this. Try keeping yourself hungry for 24 hours and see what happens. Your mind cannot think of anything except food, isn't it? Yeah, if you stay 24 hours without having sex, it is okay, does not matter, nothing is going to go wrong. But hungry? You cannot. I have seen people who say, it's 11 o'clock, I got to eat this. What? It is 12 o'clock, I got to eat that. If you don't get me this food at this hour, then I am going to be upset. And the anger shows in a person's face and the actions. You are so much dependent on food. Think. Food, tongue, keeps a person so much attached in the world. Krishna is talking about the first thing, food, thirst. I got to have water. I got to drink. This is the next thing. thirst to another. So food is the one thing that attracts you to the world. Thirst is the second thing that attracts you in this world. So the tongue says, see, you have not eaten this. You got to eat it. You're very hungry. Yesterday was Karva Chauth. You didn't eat for a very long time. Now it's going to be Chhat Puja. Why I'm saying all this Karva Chauth and Chhat Puja is just I returned from that state where they talk about all this nonsense. Okay? These are some festivals created by human beings. They look through the sieve to the moon and they say, I want to have the same idiot in my life for the next couple of lives. They're talking about husbands. A wife looks through this sieve towards the moon and says that I want to have the same husband. Or they tie one thread around one tree and they will say, I wish to have the same husband in my life. I mean, why do you want to marry a donkey in the first place and then keep him for all your lives? This is what everybody wants to do. So that is the first thing. And then food. I said food, no? They want to have food. Have you ever attended a wedding where food is not the main course? Food is the main thing. What are we going to have for lunch? There's a big list of things that you and ever gone for a place where where you are the main person for creating that itinerary for the wedding. You have to pay for X, Y, Z, all that. You are getting cut yourself, and on top of it, you have to feed the other people. How foolish is that? So food is the first thing. Then it is the thirst, sex impulse. How many movies you have seen where the hero or the heroine enters the home and they just start jumping on their partner? I mean, I'm sure you have seen, I think every second movie has this. What are they talking about? It's a 1 minute job and it is extended inside a big film, by the way. Alright? I mean, think about it. The next impulse is called the sexual impulse. It draws you somewhere. There are people, I mean, you go and see headlines of newspapers and all sometimes, you will find couple having sex in the middle of the road. What? You are like dogs or what? And then person pays through their nose for going to all these websites, pornographic websites, or going after all these, different kinds of sexual things connected. I don't want to dwell on that subject more. Skin, stomach, and ears to other quarters. The skin draws you towards other quarters. What does skin do? I want to wear good clothes. Okay? You see, my hands are all become white. I have to put cream on it. Cream on it? If you are staying in an ashram, you think you have the time for putting cream on their hands? There is no time for that. Huh? All my face is chapped, you see, because of the weather. My hair? Receding hairline. Bala. You know Bala? Yesterday we were in the airport and I saw one airline. And that airline was Go Air. So I was thinking they must have sponsored the movie called Bala. It's a joke, by the way. Go Air. I just translated it into Go Hair. So the person Bala means, person who is bald. Anyway, stupid joke. But think about it. A man cares for even the stupidest thing called hair. I was sitting behind a person yesterday, a man. He had, I think, 20,000 tattoos on his hand and body somewhere. That's exaggeration. But I looked at his head. Okay? It was immaculate. He had just had a haircut, nicely haircut, all that. There are no hairs down here. There is one kind of a stuff over here like a cock, you know, gelled hair, and he must have paid a bomb for that. Nowadays, men spend a lot of money on all their looks also. Women is a different issue. Men, of course, I don't know about that. So coming back to this, so it's about skin, stomach, ears. You always want to hear good stuff. You know, I could buy a headphone for 200 rupees or 100 rupees earlier. Now noise cancellation 30,000, earbuds 15,000. The rates are not coming down only. They are actually going up. So you want to have better and better headphones. Think. So ears, you want to hear good stuff. And by the way, there are companies which will send you notification 3-month free trial. After that, every month you pay us so much. And you can listen to whatever songs that you want to hear. First and foremost, I want to become an MBA. Okay? I've forgotten all that because I got married, I have had children, I have relatives, and now I want to hear songs. So my entire life, I'm going to be either listening to songs or something, and then when I go home, I hear the wailing of children. That is what happens in life. Then the nose attracts in another direction. Next time when you're coming from the duty-free shop, no, you buy me this scent for myself, okay? I know, when I look at the deodorant bottles getting exhausted every time, in 1 year's time, I think we must be exhausting more than 20 bottles of deodorant. What you call it, deodorants. 20 years ago, there was no such thing. But today we do that. Isn't it? Nose. All because of your nose. Then, restive eyes. There's a nice movie coming on. We should go and watch it. 500 bucks down the drain, and you want to go and watch that movie, and then another 500 bucks for buying popcorn. Wow! So 1,000 bucks down the drain, and you have time for that. You have time for wasting it like this. What happened to your MBA? You should always ask this question to yourself. Whenever you think that you are going to go for a holiday, watch a movie, go and listen to music, listen to some nonsense, attend meetings, become some leader in some company and give speeches, think of yourself, where are you going? You see, if you are working for some company, I can still call you a chaprasi. Chaprasi means you are still a servant of somebody. Okay? They can throw you out in 1 day's time. Like that. And you're gone. You heard about the WeWorks thing, no? The company 85% now belongs to SoftBank. And the owner of WeWorks is out of the window. So the person who started the company is out. What happened to him? Money down. So, the tendency for work draws to something else. This is also another interesting. I was working for this company. I'm getting a better offer from another company. Should I join that? Go ahead. Be my guest. Join another company. The designation of a servant doesn't change, na? You can join even the greatest of the companies. Still you are a servant. Oh, you want to become a politician? You are called a public servant. You got the point? You want to join government organization? It's not public servant. You are your own servant because you are going to try to take as many bribes as possible. Because you are servant to your bribes. Okay. So any which way you are still going into the gutters. All these undermine the man like so many wives to a householder. Just imagine you have multiple wives. Each wife is drawing you. She's saying, did you bring this for me? Did you do this for me? Have you done this? Have you done that? I told you when you're going over there, you should buy this and come. Just like that, this nose, ears, tongue, all these are going to draw you. The nose is going to say, look, see, there's a nice smell over there. Go over there. The eyes are going to say, it's a nice thing. Go see that stuff. This is about yourself. The previous verse was about all the relatives that you own in this world. Okay? And these are the two things which are going to drag you out of the system and into a cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. So I think it's a doomsday declaration Krishna is making, no? I mean, think about it. We are learning spirituality over here for you to understand why this has to be done. Getting out of it. Don't get into it in the first place. You are still having time. Don't get into it. All these relationships that you are going to build up in your life. If you are getting married, 1 year's time you will be in the gutter. With all the relatives that you have gathered in your life, with all the things that you are going to pay for in your life, you can never get out of this, the jail of your life. And those who think that they have got from one company to another, I'm sorry, you have got into yourself into another kind of a thing. In all this, where is your spiritual wheel? Half an hour of satsang, 45 minutes, giving to me. I'm not going to save you for 45 minutes. Sorry. You better learn to understand the essence of what I am talking about, what Krishna is saying. Liberation is important. Getting out of this cycle of life and death is important. Don't get trapped into this. It's like they say, honey trap. Oh, this is all honey trap, money trap, relative trap, house trap. And all the tongue trap, ear trap. Don't get into all these traps. Okay? So we will stop over here. Tomorrow morning I will do from verse 28 onwards. Alright? Again, it's a doomsday thing, but today is Diwali. So I have to at least wish you all a happy Diwali today. And see you all tomorrow. I hope tomorrow there is something better. Okay? Alright, take care. Have a good day. Bye.